I'm about to lose my brain stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man will go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
Touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks, dropping receipts on haters. haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets. We only facing the threat.
This is the sound of APp
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets. We only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine, you son. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine, you son. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got
This is the sound of APp.
All right, hello everyone, Grand Rising. Thanks for tuning in once again to the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your second morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Also, don't forget to double check and make sure you're still subscribed, especially if you have not been receiving those notifications. Now, with that all being said, let's get into it. All right. If you don't like what the Queen is cooking, you already know what to do. Don't come here complain about what the Queen is talking about. If you don't like the topics, hey, just make your own YouTube channel and do your own thing. It's that simple. All right. For the rest of you, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. All right, we got 504 Nola in here, Courtney J, Queen Shay, Stacy, the Red China Doll, Danielle, walaikum salam to you, beloved. Greta Lee, Pearly, love her, RG Titan, Latasha, Daryl LaField. All right, Claudette, I see you. Stacy, David is here, Jeff ATL, Nita's a Mike's World, Hot Coco, Deronda, Timber, Dan, that Crazy Beach Aries. All right, shout out to my moderators putting in work. Eduardo, I see you, beloved. Okay, so let's get into it. Everyone, please get those likes up. Y'all know how they do. The Queen is all nefarious. Please get the likes up. Okay, that Crazy Beach Aries sent a super chat saying, it's Pisces season and tomorrow we celebrate the Queen's solar return. Thank you, Queen, for all you do. We love you. Thank you, beloved, for your kind words. And I love you right black. All right, and thank you for your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Yes, it's my birthday tomorrow. All right, and so let's get into it. Let's get into it. And also, thank you all for the cash apps. I appreciate you guys. All right. And so with that all being said, and that Crazy Beach Aries is one of my day ones, loyal royals. So I just absolutely love her. Okay. So with that all being said, let's get into it, beloveds. Now, first things first, let's talk about Chrisean Rock. I don't know why some of you all love these female thugs. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't see why some of you are so obsessed with these little thugs like Chrisean Rock. Now let's talk about it. Now it says that there was a bench warrant put out for Chrisean. New documents indicate that she received a bench warrant for her arrest due to violating her 4-year probation sentence. However, what is the most salient point amid this new warrant is that it's also for former baddie star. For the former baddie star for her assault on James Wright. Now I want you all to pay attention because do you all remember all the little idiots on the social media platforms that were saying that Tamar and James and their camp were trying to get clout off of Chrisean Rock? Imagine that. Imagine being a superstar R&B diva and they say you're trying to get clout off of somebody like Chrisean Rock. But anyway, you all remember they said that. They said that they set Chrisean up. Now I want you to pay attention to the lengths that some foolish black people will go to try to justify the nefariousness of some people that they idolize, even though these people are nothing more than thugs and criminals. Okay? just making us all look bad, but this is what some of our people love. And so they tried to insinuate that she didn't do anything to James at first. They said it was all lies and BS and made up. And then when the footage surfaced of James at the dentist, and then they said, well, they set her up. How could they set her up? You think Tamar literally invited her to the show and told her she could get up there and perform during the twerk session just to set her up for clouds? It's also foolish because, first of all, how would they know that she was going to put pause on James? How could they have predicted that? Do you see how insidiously obtuse some of our own people are? And this is why we stay at the bottom. But let me continue because this is all so crazy. Now, for those unaware, she attacked James during Tamar Braxton's recent show. And this was a big scandal that she sought to sweep under the rug. And some of the fools on the internet tried to help her do so. Now, it looks as if the 23-year-old might have to go to prison for 30 days while her volatile and on and off again Blueface is also behind bars. Well, that's where they both need to be. They're nothing but common criminals. Now, not only that, but this warrant is also due to Chrisean Rock's beef and assault of Woe Vicky, a fellow reality star. Now, see, I didn't even know she jumped on Woe Vicky, so she beat her up too. As such, there's a lot of baggage to hang on to here and a lot of things that she will have to answer for. Many fans of social media question how this would affect Chrisean Jr., given that both of his parents may be incarcerated soon. I'm sorry, this poor child. Do you think about this? Okay, your mother and your father locked up. Perhaps he will stay with the Rock family as they have been the most outwardly supportive of the little one since before his birth. Alas, this is all just speculation because we really don't know what's going to happen. Now, furthermore, even Blueface and Chrisean Rock's relationship is kind of up in the air right now when it was previously very much at odds. For example, she recently seemed to brush off the rumors that he has a third baby mama and all the other negativity that came her way on social media so far this year. But despite the Baltimore native's frankly toxic incidents with to or because of the California rapper in their entire history, she is still very much loyal to him. Hopefully she is prioritizing her child and his care right now if she really has to go to the slammer. This is all so crazy, but I'm not shocked. Are any of you? Meanwhile, we can't help but wonder what Carlissa Sofold might think of all of this. Blueface's mother and her almost daughter-in-law have a pretty estranged relationship, and that's putting it lightly. Most likely the next few days will hold some important developments and updates in that regard. But with that in mind, I'm going to keep you all updated because I find it all very nefarious. Okay? I find it all so crazy. This girl stays in the midst of drama and people always want to make excuses for her, but why? I have a whole lot of questions. Okay? There it is, bench warrant. Issued on Friday, February the 23rd. Here are the legal docs. Order for commitment, 30 days. And so it looks like Chrisean's going down for the count. And rightfully so. Listen, I think she needs to be in jail. And quite frankly, I'd love to see her go. Because the moment that you think that it's okay to just go around putting your hands on somebody just because you don't like something they said or just because they ticked you off or annoyed you, yeah, you need to pay for your consequences. Okay, let this be a lesson to her and other fools who think that they just get to put pause on people because they don't like how it all went down. And then here, for those of you who missed it, is what Tamar had to say when it initially happened. And people were trying to say that Tamar was clout chasing and that Chrisean didn't hit anybody. And even if she did, well, you all set her up.
Hey everybody, I look crazy. Let me take this off. Not that my headband looks any better, but I wasn't going to say anything out of respect for James and his trauma and what happened to him. And when I say what happened to him, he got assaulted at my show, and it was by Chrisean, but there was a lot of events that I believe were misconstrued. And so while I'm not going to set out the time and clear every little thing up for everyone, I want you to know the reason why I decided to say something. Number one, I care about my team. They're all of my friends, and we put this all together. The best. I don't have the best pass. I'm sorry. I have a filter. I washed my face. I look crazy. Okay. You know, and in my journey of being a better person, I wanted people to, you know, accept me for the new person that I was. And the only way that they could do that is if I was given an opportunity. And so that's really all it was. I didn't call her and be like, oh, come on and perform in my show. I already knew Tony was planning to perform here at this LA show. She had sent me her number a while ago on a DM, and I reached out to her. Like I said before, like we all have, you know, Chrisean is like a little sister to all of us watching her, and then watch her make mistakes. We want to help. And this is what this Love and War tour has been about. You know, I have called several girls that I didn't know Drew Sidora. I didn't know Tiffany Evans. I didn't know any of them.
Okay, so you all heard that. And so it looks like nobody lied on Chrisean. Okay, that's why she has charged spending. And also, no one set her up. Okay, no one had to set her up. This is what she always does. Isn't that what she's known for? Putting paws on people. I find it all so interesting. And this is who Chrisean acts like right here. This is exactly how Chrisean acts. Okay, that's exactly what she acts like, a baby, okay? Totally immature and foolish. I'm sorry. What? The real China doll said she hit a hairdresser too. See, that's what I'm talking about. How are people praising this fool? She can't go around putting her hands on people. You know what? She's going to mess around and find out. That's what's going to happen. She's going to F around and find out one of these days. I'll guarantee you. She's going to put her hands on the wrong person. And they're going to dust the floor with her. Please pay attention. They're going to mop the floor with her. But anyway, I digress. Now let's talk about Lee Daniels, because I happened upon this old clip of Lee Daniels when he was on Wendy Williams' show. And he said something in a joking manner, but I don't really know if he was joking. So let's talk about it. Like, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Have been in a good relationship for quite a moment now.
Yeah,
years.
yeah, for 7 years.
Now he's an early 30 and you're a late 50.
Yeah.
But somehow you both look the same age there. I mean, you know, there's something to be said for being with a younger man.
I suck baby's blood and put it on my face.
I didn't think that was funny. And I also am not so sure if he was joking. Now, did you all see that picture of Kim Kardashian I had on there with blood on her face? Okay, because they have this procedure. Let me put up a big, this thing called blood facials. Okay, which is just absolutely disgusting in my opinion. But Kim Kardashian got this done years ago. And then she said that she regretted it and all of that. I'm sure she did after people went in on her. I'm sure she did say she regretted it afterwards. But why would you do it in the first place? So I'm not so sure if he's joking. And you're right. Sandra Bullock said it on Ellen, says Courtney J. Yes, I do remember that. I absolutely do. And so with that all been said, no, I don't think it was a joke. But listen to this. Now, Kim Kardashian sues vampire facial doctor for using her name and likeness to promote his business after Star got bloody treatment in 2013, but says she would never do it again. Yeah, and like I said, I'm not sure why she wouldn't do it again. I think, in my opinion, that it's because people went in on her.
Now, here's what they say. The law student Kim was back at it on Tuesday, filing a new lawsuit against the Alabama Doctor and Cellular Medicine Association, responsible for the infamous vampire facials, a treatment which she had done in 2013 during an episode of Courtney and Kim Take Miami. Kim's attorney filed a complaint for copyright infringement of registered work, false association, violation of the right of publicity, and California common law trademark infringement. And this is because the doctor who does these procedures used her likeness in order to promote it. Okay, so that's what he did, and she sued him. They said the defendant's use of Ms. Kardashian's name and likeness is not and never has been authorized. The defendants have never sought Ms. Kardashian's permission to use her as a face for their products and services, and Ms. Kardashian has never given such permission. And while many fans have previously wondered how much Kim charges to appear in a nationwide campaign, they may now have the answer, okay, because clearly she was suing him for big bucks. But as you can see, she has blood on her face, so I'm sorry. It's called a vampire facial. All right. So was Lee Daniels serious? Well, he could have been. He could have been. But hold on. Because do you remember this on Steve Harvey's show?
From blood-sucking leech therapy to bird poop facials, you have no idea just how far some celebrities have gone in the name of beauty.
You done sat up here and squirted somebody's private parts in my damn...
Because in that episode, they were talking about the foreskin of babies being used in facials. This is also sick. First of all, who comes up with this? I have several questions. And do you all remember a few years ago, I reported to you when the guy that owned PayPal was talking about wanting to have this center where people could go and get pints of blood from children 12 and up for $4,000. Do you all remember that? Do you all remember that? Trying to make themselves look young. And do you all see how Steve was talking? You done sat up here and took somebody's. First of all, let me tell y'all something. If you all don't notice just by the way that Steve Harvey speaks, just by the way that he speaks, doesn't he sound like somebody on a plantation who didn't want to leave when the rest of the Negroes were plotting their escape? Isn't that how he sounds when he speaks? This is all so crazy. Yes, they are disgusting. Beatrice said Lee Daniels was not joking. I don't think he was. But I just can't get over Steve. Let me run that again. Please pay attention to how this fool is talking and look at his lips.
From blood-sucking leech therapy to bird poop facials, you have no idea just how far some celebrities have gone in the name of beauty.
You done sat up here and squirted somebody's private parts in my damn...
You see, here's what I want you all to pay attention to. The truth of the matter is, Steve Harvey is just not that funny. Now, I'm not going to say he isn't funny at all, but he's not that funny to be labeled a king of comedy. Neither is Tiffany Haddish. So what do the two of them have in common? Well, they both act like slaves on a plantation who don't want to escape when everyone else is plotting to leave. That's what they both act like. I mean, Tiffany Haddish takes fried chicken that she says she fried herself to a red carpet event, boasts about wanting Meryl Streep to be her mother, and then wants Brad Pitt. I'm sorry, please make it all make sense. And then Steve, just look at him. Just shucking and jiving. That's what he does. When he told that joke about acting like a monkey for $4 million, he wasn't joking. He was so serious. So I want y'all to pay attention. This is also sickening. People like that really make my head hurt. I'm sorry, it's true. But moving right along, now let's talk about this nefarious pastor. This pastor named Prenell, Danny Prenell, shot his wife. Okay, now, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, the woman took him back. She took him back after that, but there's no way. I could never. Okay? And why did he shoot her? Oh, well, because she said something about him and people laughed. A Louisiana pastor shoots his wife in front of their kids before turning the gun on himself. Yeah, then he tried to take himself out like cowards do, but the bullet just grazed him. Now, investigators say Daddy Prenell Jr., age 25, shot 27-year-old Gabrielle Prenell at the Hampton Inn on Cheyenne Drive off of Interstate 55 in Macomb. The incident happened around 3:30 p.m., June 21st, in front of their children, according to investigators. Daddy shot himself once and shot his wife twice. They were both airlifted from Southwest Mississippi Regional Medical Center in Macomb and rushed to the University of Mississippi Medical Center, also known as UMMC, in Jackson. Their conditions are unknown as of Thursday morning. Now, this is the previous incident where he shot this woman. According to Prenell's Facebook page, let me show you all this. Hold on. Let me show you all this, man. I don't know why she took him back, honey, because you try to kill me, honey. You're never going to see me again, okay? Except in court. That's him right there. And that's his wife. And I don't know why that woman took him back. But anyway, let's continue.
Both were rushed to the University of Mississippi Medical Center. Their children are in the custody of Child Protective Services. Now, according to Prenell's Facebook page, he's a former sheriff's deputy up until as recent as December 2022. On April 6th, Prenell paid tribute to his wife on her birthday, calling her my queen and the woman that I love and owe my life to. I watched your growth on all levels, and you're a great mother, wife, and my best friend. I'm proud to be your husband because you are a woman of class, discretion, integrity, and most importantly, you're a woman of God, he added. The pastor regularly spoke about his self-growth in Facebook posts. At the age of 25, I often hear that I'm far beyond my years. However, I never get satisfied with where I am. I'm constantly looking for more, he wrote on April 16th. People with small minds would keep you locked up into what can fit into their heads. The God I serve doesn't have a limit, and I'm staying faithful. Shall run over, he added.
Now, that was in June. That was in June. And if I'm not mistaken, they were coming from a pool or something like that. They were at the pool, and she said a joke or something about him, and everybody laughed, and that's why he shot her. Now, fast forward, he's been arrested again for domestic violence. And who's surprised? Well, not me. Maybe his wife is, because she took him back. Obviously, she thought that was going to change him. I don't know. But Alexandria police arrest Daddy Prenell on domestic abuse charges. And this was reported on February the 21st. Reported on the 21st. So here we are months later, not even a whole year. And he has done something else to this woman. I mean, when is she going to learn? She's going to keep going back to this fool until he takes her out. And anyone who tries to take their own life is clearly mentally unstable. And so Daddy Prenell, a resident of Alexandria and a Pineville pastor, was arrested by the Alexandria Police Department and subsequently booked into the Rapids jail. According to the Rapids Parish Sheriff's Office inmate inquiry system, they said Prenell is facing charges of domestic abuse and is currently awaiting extradition proceedings. Now, according to the Macomb Police Department, Daddy Prenell Jr. was arrested and charged with aggravated domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and disturbing a business. Prenell Jr. was suspected of shooting his wife, Gabrielle Prenell, twice, and then turning the gun on himself on Wednesday, June 21st of 2023, at a Hampton Inn motel around 3 p.m. Now, when questioned about why Prenell was not charged with some form of murder, like attempted murder, because he shot her twice. How did he not get charged with attempted murder? Okay, because they charge him with the aggravated domestic violence. Aggravated domestic violence, that's it. Okay, now that's a felony in Mississippi. But while the charges of disorderly conduct and disturbing of business are misdemeanors, Prenell's bond was set at $500,000 in Mississippi. Details surrounding today's arrest included the condition of the victim and whether she was indeed his wife remained undisclosed at this time. Furthermore, the timeline of Prenell's release from a Mississippi jail following the initial incident has not been revealed. So they say media has reached out to the Alexandria Police Department for additional information regarding Prenell's arrest. However, as of now, no further details have been provided. This man is a danger to society. I'm sorry. I don't know why that woman took him back. Like I said, this is all crazy as far as I'm concerned. And when he did this to her the first time, he did it in front of their own children. He literally did this in front of their own children. Now, I find this also egregious. Hold on, because I want you all to hear something. Someone did a TikTok on this. Hold on, let me see if I have it. Someone did a TikTok on this I want you all to hear. Now, listen to this. Hold on. Give me a second to cue this. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Do you guys remember when I brought you this story regarding this wannabe pastor, Danny Prenell, and his wife, Gabrielle Prenell? They call her Gabby. You remember the story where they were out of town at a hotel and he put a bullet in her? Yeah, he went out and started his own church because he didn't want to grow or mature in ministry and stuff. But at this hotel, he initially put a bullet in her because she made a joke at the pool in front of other people and they laughed. It was a joke. And he told the kids to get on the elevator, and told the kids, "I'm sorry, but I'm going to unalive your mom." He fired twice. One hit her in the stomach. The other one hit her in the arm as she was trying to hold up her hands in self-defense. And what saved her was her daughter. Her daughter saved her mom by shutting the elevator door and screaming that he shot my mom. Then he pulled a cowardly move, took the boys back to the hotel room, got into the bathtub, and then he put a bullet in himself. But the bullet only grazed him on his right side. I've been trying to keep up with the updates regarding this case because I was wondering what kind of time he was going to get. And I never really saw anything. And then I had several people reach out to me and gave me some details that I wasn't ready for. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Gabby refused to help with the prosecution, and the charges were dropped. Yes, they were dropped down to disturbing a business and domestic violence. They didn't even drop it down to aggravated, but they dropped it down to the domestic violence and disturbing a business, which is crazy because there was a weapon involved. But she aided in getting him less time. You know what I'm saying? Well, he didn't even really do any time, but wow. He didn't do any time because they bonded him out. Let me clear that up. They bonded him out. His parents, they bonded him out. Yeah. And I'm just bewildered right now because you see this and you just dropped it down to disturbing the business and DV. And what's really sad is, according to sources, his parents pressured Gabby into getting back with him. Pressured her to get back with him, and she did. Matter of fact, according to another source, she was seen out and about with him. They were holding hands, walking together. Happy D, happy dope. And there were a lot of concerned parties because they're like, wait a minute, this dude did this and this, and now we see them back together. And like I said, it hit me with a ton of bricks. But then something else happened today. Something else happened. You know the old saying where it says a leopard does not ever change its spots. The moment that a man or a woman put their hands on you, they're going to keep doing it, especially if you keep going back to them. That's called on purpose pain. That right there is telling that person that no matter what they do, you're going to get back with them. You're going to submit to that mess, right? You're going to submit to it. Well, today he attacked her due to the fact because he heard, he had no facts, but he heard about things that she was doing while he was incarcerated, meaning that really she got out and she was living her life besides going to church. She was living her life. And the parents, his parents, were helping her. They helped her get a place. They helped the kids, get in school. And the reason that's significant is because he never wanted them to go to school because he was afraid they were going to tell things. But he was locked up today. He was extradited back to Mississippi from Rapids Parish. Yes, he put his hands back on her again. And they arrested him. And he's been extradited back to Mississippi. What disturbs me is they gave him another bond. It's really low, but they gave him another bond despite what he's done already. Y'all know that we get on here and we talk about DV. We talk about, women being safe, make the right choice, move in silence. But when you're going back to monsters like this guy right here has an ego problem. He has he's a man baby. He wants to be in control. That's why he went out at 26 years old to start his own church. That's why he thinks that he's the head man in charge. You're not preaching. You are preaching a mouth full of lies. You are a hypocrite, and you should never be in the pulpit. I don't know if it's that Gabby is afraid of this man. I don't know what it is, but going back is the wrong choice. So we're putting this message out there, and we're going to make it known nationwide who he is and who his father is. His father, in the spiritual sense, is of Satan because he's manipulative and he's an abuser. And he deserves nothing. He don't deserve to be in any pulpit. He don't deserve to be in them children's life. He don't deserve to be in anybody's life. He needs to be by himself. He need to get over that ego. And I want to hear from Bright Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church. I want to hear from you. Are you allowing this hypocrite to get back in the pulpit and preach a mouthful of lies? Because he's contaminating the entire congregation. He's contaminated. He's in the flesh. And you are allowing this? He needs to sit down immediately, or God's going to sit him down immediately. It's going to be one or the other. And he's going to shut the doors of those church because he said enough is enough. It's time out for this hypocrisy. And you wonder why people don't want to come inside, don't want to grace your steps because you allow mess like this right here. This right here, Gabby, if you do not leave him alone, Gabrielle, Prenell, if you do not leave this man baby alone, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. You need.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. And I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. Now, is she afraid of him? She insecure? What is it? That she would go back to him and he's continued the abusive behavior and done so in front of the children. You know what I think should start happening? And some of you will clearly disagree. But I think women who go back to abusive men and they have children and the children witness them being brutalized, I think the women should face charges. I think they should face charges for child neglect or cruelty to children. They should face charges because you're traumatizing your children. You're only thinking about yourself, what you want. You want to be with this man even though he's a whole abuser, and you're not thinking about the trauma that it's inflicting upon your children who will have to deal with this later in life. So at the end of the day, they should lock them up as far as I'm concerned. All right? Because this is absolutely ridiculous, and it needs to stop. Put them in jail, okay, for cruelty to children, and see how they like it. And then maybe they'll stop going back to these thugs who are eventually, in most cases, going to kill them anyway. Another thing is, someone said in the chat, I think it was Tikoa. Tikoa asked the same question that Prophet P.I. was saying, that the state, even if the mother or the victim doesn't want to press the charges, the state can take them up. Well, this is true. But here's the thing. Even if the state takes up the charges, if the victim is unwilling to cooperate, they don't have a case unless they have so much significant evidence to prove it without the use of the victim's testimony, which very often is not the case. So that's why even when the state takes it up, the case gets dismissed because very often in these situations, the victims refuse to cooperate with the police. And this is exactly what his wife did. She refused to cooperate. But now he's done it again. So now let's talk about this 9-year-old child who was shot. Oh, no, before we get into that, let's give the update. Now, you all remember the story I told you about the man whose wife beat his daughter to death with a rolling pin, a wooden rolling pin. Okay, and she was arrested, and she said she did it because the girl made her mad or whatever. Well, the man also was arrested. Now, why was he charged? Please pay attention. He was charged for a very good reason, and they need to start charging all of the parents who do what he did.
The father of an 8-year-old girl who was beaten to death by her stepmom will also be charged with murder, according to the Gwinnett Police Department. Investigators say after the stepmom beat the girl, she never called 911 to get help. Instead, she called her dad, and her dad called 911 when he got home and attempted to do CPR on the child. The stepmom said, "She made me mad, and while I was angry, I picked up a wooden rolling pin and I hit her with it. I hit her like 10 or 20 times. I hit her in her back and I hit her in her head. And I think I hit her in her neck too. Listen, I knew it would only be a matter of time before they start holding the biological parent accountable for what the girlfriend or the boyfriend do. Because you already know if the person you dating like your child or not. You already know that. So if you make the choice to go to work knowing how your wife feel about your daughter and she end up killing her while you gone, you should be held accountable for that. And that's why they charging him with murder, even though he wasn't there. She been putting her hands on that little girl. She just went too far this time. She ain't never picked up a piece of wood and beat her in her head and her neck and her back before like she did this time. But it was bound to happen because there was nobody there to stop her. Daddy ain't gonna say nothing because Daddy in love. Daddy ain't gonna lose his new wife to protect his 8-year-old daughter. And that sound bad, but that's the reality that we living in. He would rather stand over his lifeless daughter's body and do CPR on her than leave his wife. If this happened to me as a child, I think I would have to question God. Because I would want to know, why, God? Why did he have to be my daddy? He don't even like me. Why do he just stand there and do nothing while she hurt me? Somebody would have to explain this to me as a child. So yeah, I definitely agree with the decision to charge him. Okay,
I absolutely agree. He should be charged as well. He should be charged as well because you can't tell me that he didn't know anything, didn't have any idea, clue at all that she didn't like his daughter. And let's not forget the case that I told you all about maybe some months ago last year, where there was an infant where the girlfriend who was 20 years old, and she looked really young, but she was 20. She looked more like 12 or 13. But she actually fed some type of small batteries. You all remember that? She fed batteries and a screw to this infant. It was her boyfriend's baby, and she didn't like it. So this is what she did. She killed the little girl. Killed the little girl by giving her batteries and a screw. This is all so crazy. At the end of the day, you know, I really believe that people can tell when someone doesn't like their children. Okay, at the end of the day. And it's just really sad that children have to suffer like this. The parents should absolutely be held accountable. Now let's talk about this little 9-year-old boy who was shot, because this is all sad and it clearly sounds like a whole cover-up. Somebody is lying. So let's get into it. Someone says, I feel really bad. Police probe Chicago shooting death of a 9-year-old on New Year's Day. Like, sub, everyone please like and share. Now, the Chicago police late on Monday were looking for answers in the shooting that took the life of a 9-year-old in a house in the Southside's Brainerd neighborhood on New Year's Day. Now, Jarvis Watts was shot just after 6:30 p.m. Sunday in a house on the 9400 block of South Wallet Street in the Brainerd neighborhood. Police on Monday would not confirm how many times Jarvis was shot, but a family member said that it was an accidental shooting. Police said Jarvis was home with an extended family in the house when he was shot. Police did not say where exactly in the home the shooting occurred. Just that officers found him inside, and there were many adults and children there. Now, CBS 2's Jermont Terry reported detectives were running into roadblocks in the investigation. And this is all likely because people were lying. Someone says, I can't even wrap my fingers around it. Okay, so let's just go to the footage. Hold on. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. All of these adults in the house, and people were telling different stories. And this is why the police have all these roadblocks, because they're purposely trying to cover it up. That's what it sounds like. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Well, Joe and Erica, a family member did tell us that this was an accidental shooting. That family member did not want to be on camera, but tells us this was a heartbreaking situation.
I'm really sad to know that this has happened to him.
Right next door to Shirley Smith, 9-year-old Jarvis Watts was shot and killed on New Year's Day.
I can't even wrap my fingers around that. I can't. It's just sad.
Chicago police say the shooting happened in the 9400 block of South Wallace around 6:30 p.m. You can see police investigating both inside and outside the home. Police did not say where exactly in the home the shooting happened, just that officers found him inside and there were many adults and children there. Police say he lived with extended family. The medical examiner's office says Watts was shot several times. Smith says Watts was considerate and helpful.
He was a really happy child from what I noticed, you know. I would always see him taking the garbage out, you know. And if there was garbage on my side, he would pick it up and take it out.
Less than 24 hours after the shooting, a school administrator who dropped off flowers at the home confirmed he attended Kipling Elementary School. Neighbors say he saw him walk to school.
I just saw them out here the day before playing football and running around, you know, like kids.
Police say it's unclear how many gunshot wounds the boy suffered or who fired the shots. Also going on to say it's too early to say if negligence is involved or if this is a criminal matter. We do know many of the family members were brought in for questioning.
I really feel for the family, you know, that they have to go through that.
And Erica, as you mentioned before, there are still a lot of unanswered questions. Last night, police said that they did not have the gun. And when we asked them today if the gun was recovered, they would not say. Reporting live outside of police headquarters.
So the family's clearly trying to cover this all up because they told different stories. When they said the family was questioned, allegedly someone said that the little boy shot himself and then walked down the stairs. How does someone shoot themselves and walk down the stairs? Please make it all make sense. Thank you, Lisa, for your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, they said this little boy walked down the stairs after being shot in the face 3 times. That's what allegedly one of the family members said. And then somebody else said that he did it to himself. There was all kinds of stories going on. Now, let me go to the next video because someone did a TikTok about this.
A 9-year-old boy from Chicago is dead after being shot multiple times inside a home. According to the reports, several adults and children were in the home at the time of the shooting. And one of the children said, "I seen him playing with the gun. I seen him point the gun at his own head and accidentally shoot himself." Another witness in the home said, "I heard a loud pop coming from upstairs. And then I heard someone tell the children get dressed. And that's when I seen the 9-year-old boy come downstairs and collapse on the living room floor." Police have labeled the shooting a death investigation as opposed to a homicide investigation because of the many conflicting statements given by eyewitnesses. The Cook County medical examiner said the young boy died from multiple gunshot wounds and his death is ruled a homicide. Police did not recover any firearms from the home, but did find an empty .45 caliber shell casing. And there is another report about a 27-year-old man leaving the home right before officers arrived. Listen, I say this is a cover-up. You don't shoot yourself multiple times and there's no gun on side of you. You don't shoot yourself in the head and the gun disappear. And one of the family members said, "I didn't even know we had guns in our house." Situations like this and how this family is acting, this enough to make you not want to even let your children go spend the night. Because I can't trust y'all. And not only do y'all story don't sound right, y'all ain't even got y'all story together. And y'all still sticking with it. You not gonna tell me that my son shot himself 3 times in the face and still walked down the stairs. You can't just tell me anything. If one of his little cousins shot him, say something. If that 27-year-old man who was at the house but left before the police came, if he shot him, say something. See, this is why I don't join the movement when it's time to rally up against police officers. Because when it's time to rally up against one of us, we quiet. We don't say nothing. We don't know nothing. That house was full of adults and full of children. They know what happened to this boy. We could all come together when it's a white man or a white police officer killing us. But when we kill us, we all quiet. We all go back to the no snitching rule. We don't talk to police. And I just can't respect that, because I'm somebody who truly feel like Black Lives Matter. And when you really feel like Black Lives Matter, it matters even when it comes down to convicting another black person. It comes down to getting on that court stand and pointing at him and said, hey, he's the one that killed that little boy. I'm not just into pointing out white people when they kill us. I would point out anybody that kill us. So if Black lives really matter to you, it have to matter in all situations, even if it means sending another black person to jail.
I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. Now, nobody is telling the truth. And where's the firearm? Someone had to have hidden it. And I believe that the 27-year-old man who left, that he's likely the culprit and that he left and took the gun with him. That's what I think. And all of these people telling different stories, and the nerve of them to say that this child did it to himself and then walked down the stairs and collapsed. This is all so sad, honey. That was a handsome little boy. I really hate that. Condolences to his family that actually cares about him, and not those extended family members who clearly are trying to cover up his death, which is in fact a murder. All very sad. And I agree with what the commentators said, because I've told you all numerous of times, I don't care what race or ethnic group you belong to. If you're doing something nefarious against my people, I'm going to call you out, even if you're my people. That's crazy. And I always tell you all about the no snitching thing. That's a whole load of BS, because unless you're a criminal who's trying to get your sentence shortened, and so you want to tell on someone else, unless you're doing that, you're not a snitch. Okay, reporting something that you see happen in your neighborhood, reporting the crime that someone's committed, especially against children or elders, that's your duty at the end of the day. But anyway, some of our people, like I said, have selective outrage. And that's why I keep saying it. Get so mad and bent out of shape when the police do something to one of us, but don't have that same energy and fire when one of our own people does something to one of us. And you absolutely should. And so anyway, like I said, condolences to the little boy's family. Okay, so moving right along. Now, I found this very interesting. This man was trying to talk about Israel, and he had questions, and this sister just shut him right on down. I mean, he couldn't say a word. Please pay attention.
But let me tell you, speaking for millions of Jewish people around the world right now, I think it's really offensive that progressives have totally forgotten history and what the misery of being Jewish has been for generations and generations and generations, for reasons that I do not really understand, but is real. So please, don't let that progressive love stop at my door. Well, okay.
I'll help you understand. For one, Representative Phillips, it strikes me as a little ironic that you're going to say to me in my face as a Black American who doesn't have the option of someone that the United Nations and the international community having intervened on my behalf to create an entire country for my people who have zero options of some place to flee. So it strikes me as much as I empathize. When you tell the story of Jewish ships full of Jewish people after the Holocaust being turned away, I've spoken at length on this podcast about how disgusted I was to discover that Otto Frank and Frank's father application was turned away, and how close they came to be able to immigrate to America. I'm disgusted by it. But the question is, why should the actions of an anti-Semitic America and an anti-Semitic Europe be paid for by the people of Palestine who had absolutely nothing to do with the horrors of Holocaust?
I'm sorry, he had no response. He literally had no response. He couldn't answer that question. Okay, he couldn't make it make sense if he wanted to. That's how you shut somebody down when they're trying to paint a whole narrative. Okay, when they're trying to paint a whole narrative, please pay attention. I find it also interesting. So with that all being said, I'm about to wrap up this broadcast. But I want to show you all this video. This woman had a tummy tuck and it absolutely looked egregious. And her daughter, I believe it's her daughter that was very upset. Please pay attention.
To know this shit, bro. We support people. Look at my mom's stomach. Like, what did y'all do? What did y'all do, bro? Y'all weird, bro. Y'all weird, bro. Yo, that shit hurt, bro. That shit hurt, bro. When you try to make your mom feel comfortable by herself. Y'all up, bro. Yo, that shit corny, bro. That shit corny, bro. Don't like it because I love how she feels. Shit corny. All she wanted was to be comfortable, bro. It's really people, moms out here that's uncomfortable, bro. And all I wanted my mom to be was comfortable. Y'all gonna fuck her over like that? Y'all rushing my mom, bro. They ain't gonna lie to her. Say a procedure in New York, Brooklyn, New York. We in Brooklyn, New York. Y'all gonna switch it and say, oh, Perkins got to emerge. Bro, that's corny, bro. They gonna say, yeah, my BMI too high, but we still gonna do it. Like, so you know, if you come and get your body done and your BMI too high, they can't do it. So her BMI was too high, so they just was like, fuck it, we still gonna do it. Pay attention, you ready? When my mom first was getting her body done, basically interacting with the people, signing papers, doing this and doing that, right? They were saying like, your BMI can't be too high or we cannot do a procedure. They just kept saying it like, well, you know, you need to walk around and do something. Your BMI can't be too high. When she got there, her BMI was too high, but she was next. So they just was like, F it, we gonna do it. So if I call my mom right now and she say like, yeah, my BMI was too high, and they still did it, it's a problem, because that means if other people.
Okay, listen, I'm sorry that happened to her mother, but at the end of the day, if they told her her BMI was too high and then they wanted to go ahead with the procedure, she could have told them no. Okay, she could have told them no herself. For those of you who don't know, BMI is body mass index, but at the end of the day, she could have told them no herself. Brensler said, why know better and not do better? What's wrong with her mom? Is she slow? I mean, I have questions, because my whole thing is, when they told her her BMI was too high, she should have just said no. Sorry, the gym was an option for your mom, love, if the BMI was too high. Well, here's the thing. That's a good question, but here's the thing. When you have people, now you saw her mother's stomach. Now, when you have people who are in that condition, and then they go to get tummy tucks and different procedures or whatever, 9 times out of 10, they're going to end up back in the same condition, because that's just due to laziness. People who go out here and get plastic surgery to remove fat and all that stuff, that's just purely laziness. You can go to the gym, put in work, you can eat right, change your eating habits and all of that, and you can do the same thing. But they go out here and pay for it as shortcuts because they don't want to do the work. If you don't want to do the work in the first place, then after you go and pay for surgical procedures, you still may not want to do the work. And at the end of the day, we can clearly see that her mother didn't want to do the work. Okay, so she should have just told them no when they said her BMI was too high. That's all. That's just crazy. Her mother has to accept some responsibility herself. People just need to quit getting all this plastic surgery or rather than just, working out and changing your diet. And if you go get plastic surgery to lose weight and you don't change your diet and start working out, you're not going to, stay in that shape anyway. You're just going to blow back up. Like, it's common sense. I don't know what some people be thinking about. It's just all nonsensical and quite frankly ridiculous to me. Meanwhile, let's talk about this guy who offered to pay for this girl's lunch. But then when he found out how much the lunch cost, he didn't want to pay for it. Please pay attention.
I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to pay for your lunch. Just tell me how much it is. I said, okay, it's $17. He going to say, $17? Where did you go? I said, Zaxby's. He goes, what on the menu are you getting for $17? I was like, you know what? Just don't worry about it. Like, I got it. Don't even worry about it. He going to say, it's not about the money. I got the money. Do you? Do you have it? Because it sounded very much so like you don't have $17, which is fine. But why would you offer to pay for somebody's meal and then you gonna complain? And what's funny, it's not funny, but what's funny to me is when I take myself out to eat and I'm splurging on me because I'm taking me out, the bill be like $150 alone. It's just me. And you talking about $17? Who gonna tell them? Oh, these men be so cheap for real. Like, I can't catch a break.
She said she can't catch a break, poor thing. Okay, poor thing. Now he needs to sit down somewhere. He said, what did you order for $17? What? Did he think she was going to go to McDonald's and order a Happy Meal? This is all so nefarious at the end of the day. Okay? Tim, y'all said she petty. Yeah, she is. And it was funny. I absolutely loved it. Cat Eyes said $150. What'd she eat? Well, she could have been eating at a 5-star restaurant, beloved. Please pay attention. Benihana's. Now, Benihana's is a very upscale restaurant. You go there, and I'm quite sure you're going to spend over $100. You're going to spend over $100. If you go to Papa Dough, you're going to spend almost $100 by the time you get your food, your appetizer, and dessert, if you get desserts, and a drink or two. Yeah. It all adds up. It all adds up. See, this is why some of these women be out here complaining about going to the Cheesecake Factory. They want to go to these 5-star restaurants and they can't afford to take themselves there because it costs like $150. So they don't want to pay for it. So they think they're going to get men to take them. And when the men don't want to do it, then they have to do a YouTube video and try to make them go viral. That's how that goes. Juju said, and the tip. That's right. Don't forget the tip. So, but with that all being said right there, that was funny because she didn't ask him to pay for her lunch. He volunteered. And then was perplexed because it was $17. I'm sorry, what? Did he think she was going to eat crystals or White Castles? Checkers, no less? I'm sorry, but the average order at Zaxby's is about $17. Okay? She probably got the wings and things, right? She probably ordered the wings and things. At the end of the day, that's about $17. So I'm sorry, sir. Please sit down somewhere. If you can't foot the bill, then don't offer to do so. It's just that simple. Okay, we can't even blame her because he offered it. Juju B said, not Checkers. Okay. Oh, so crazy. But I digress. Now, I'm about to get out of here. Everyone, please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell, click the word all, so you're notified each time Queen Goddess goes live. I want to show you all this video. Now, I showed you all a video last week with the elderly people dancing at the nursing home. They were getting it in, right? Well, here's another elder, and this lady is about 70-something years old, and I'm sorry, but her body is more in shape than some of these 25-year-olds like Dusty Red. Please pay attention. Okay, I'm just saying, some of these elders are putting y'all to shame. Some of these elders are putting y'all to shame. All right. That crazy bitch Aaron said, who G-Ma is that? Miss Evie said, go granny, go granny. I know she was getting it, honey. Please pay attention. And she was actually dancing to that song, Make Me Water, Make Me Sweat. Isn't that the name of it? Make Me Water. She was dancing to that song, but due to copyright, I couldn't play that song. And so I just added something else. But that's what she was dancing to, and she was quite frankly getting it. And so some of these little youngins who be out here talking about, oh, you too old to be doing this, you too old to be doing that, honey. They should have hoped that when they get older, that they can be in that good a shape. All right, because half of them won't. As a matter of fact, most of them, in fact, won't. The elders taught us how to dance. Absolutely. You just said we need an after party tomorrow, Queen. Yes, I think we're going to have one. Okay? All hell no, said, child, these grannies are nefarious lately. Honey, they're living their best lives. That's all they're doing. They're living their best lives. With that all being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in once again. Please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. With that all being said, I hope to see you all in the next live. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._Shakur, TikTok at Dr. Shakur, Twitter at DGoddess27. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Running the wallets and planning for the daily. You know my name, babe. Or rent the castle headed. Big mama of the town, I'm the big talk. I don't just talk about, but can I do the civil walk? I walk to freedom. The freedom riders coming to my house to horse to meet. We went to corner street and sat in only white was eating. Don't wanna pull this gun up to my face and I kept eating. What you know about that 335? What you know about escaping to these trucks on the floor? So that the clan don't know they looking for this Negro. After I put on the show on that bus like, cause we ain't getting up. Matter of fact, we sitting up, trying to get me up, but you ain't big enough. Been tough, walking down that rows of the bounce, so it don't bother me when they take out the dogs in Alabama. When you hit it, bop, better drop. I empty out that clip, cause big tell me don't stop. Get down and get popped, and mouse is my heart. Don't run it through my Glock, stop playing with me. I said I hate to knock your teeth out, peace out. You gon' night like cause you playing with your life. I do not fast, you don't say. I didn't come to play, I came for the slaves. We can do it the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. The trust is hard, let them go, or you can die. Was in the union as a spy, and as a nurse, but ended on front line. And I ain't lying.